Go, baby. Yeah, we are back. Woo! What a power hour. I mean, what a morning, man. Power hour is just starting right now. First viewer, Matt. What's going on, baby? Thomas, what's going on? Guys, GameStop has been slowly creeping. I'm gonna put on my glasses really quick. Look at this. We're still pushing. Let's go, baby. Finally. Did you guys see that tweet from GameStop? There's a tweet on GameStop of the astronaut on the moon holding, I believe it's a Heineken. I think it's a beer. I need to revisit that right now. Let's see. How's your day? Great so far. I'm loving this rebound in stonks. Oh my God, this rebound saved us, guys. Had a good workout. George, what's going on? Darks, Nick, here we go. Even crypto, Doge is still at 50 cents. I feel like it's been at 50 cents for quite some time now. It's at 50 cents still. Let's see. Bitcoin is at 56.6. So still hanging in there after that bounce, after that small flash crash to like 54, 53.8. Ethereum is right around 4K still. SafeMoon went green. Shiba is up 26%. Why are you calling me the GOAT? Let's see. Let me pull up that tweet from GameStop really quick. Trending on Twitter is AMC 511. 511. A tweet from Trey came up. I might be a little spotty today, but I'll be showing up at some point later. Had a little incident yesterday with the heart and had to go into the hospital. Poor guy, man. Prayers. It's not good. Is that why AMC 511 is trending? Or I don't get 511. Is it the date? I'm not understanding something. Hopefully he's all right. I think he said he was gonna go through heart surgery too. It's not the best, you know. It's like it leaves you uneasy. I remember my dad had a mitral valve heart transplant, a valve, and I remember as I was a sophomore, I was taking a chemistry exam, and I kept checking my phone because I was keeping updates, and I got caught. They thought I was cheating. And I remember having to explain myself the whole situation. So heart surgery is no joke. It's the date, right? 511. That's what I thought. What's going on today? How's AMC? 10, 11, 10, 12. That's great though. I like the community, how they always come together and they're able to get things trending. Tesla 617, we kind of dabbled here near the highs at 625. Anything above 600, honestly. Close above 600 for Tesla, I think is a dub. That consolidation is probably needed for Doge. Absolutely, 100% needed, man. We cannot come down under 50. And I think 50s is pretty well deserved. The last time we struggled to break past 48, and now we're holding 50s. I think it's a dub. Yes, Palantir is taking Bitcoin for payments. I thought they had also purchased Bitcoin, but they're considering adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. Yeah, I'm already getting a little headache with these glasses. I don't know what it is. It doesn't happen in the morning. It just happens now during power hours. I don't know what it is. Um, that's a very, very bullish candle on futures on the daily. I love that. I love that. If we do see another rip tomorrow, maybe 13.5 is what we're looking for. Power hour is here. We have 51 minutes. I think it's holding 10. Is that what it is? 511? That it's gonna hold $10? No, I have my caffeine here. It's these glasses. It's a headset squishing my temples. We have an orange cup today for Bitcoin. For Bitcoin. Market will crash. It's inevitable. AMC gains up to the moon. Sell all your cryptos. I don't believe that. I do think even just yesterday, I think AMC was green, right? AMC was green yesterday while the whole market tanked. That's pretty impressive. So I think it's a fair statement. But the rest of it, sell all your cryptos. I don't know. It really depends on where you're in from, honestly. I think that's what it is. Like if you're chasing Ethereum at the highs, then maybe cutting your loss would be smart or averaging down. I don't know your plan. Here's the tweet. This was an hour ago, right? 11 a.m. So it looks like they're using like the software for like Twitter and stuff, Instagram, self automation, Salesforce. Been away for the past few months. What did I miss? Listen, we did not cause a third impact, I promise. I love this, how they reply. Look at this. We were talking about Wendy's the other day. You guys need to hire a Wendy's social media person, make it rain memes. Yeah, the Wendy's is destroying now their Twitter. And I muted them. Look, you have muted tweets from this account just because they were everywhere all the time. This is the Trader Elite. This is not my personal one, but I have them on my personal one. I kept seeing them every single time. I had to mute them. And look at the following. Look at that number. 444. Which one's a good one? Look at this one. That's brilliant. 8 million views. Are you kidding me? 8 million views all for free on Twitter? That's brilliant. What is the definition of insanity? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? I think that's what it is. Let's see. Let's see how other stocks are doing. Twitter. Oh wow, what a recovery. Neo. Love it. Apple, there we go. Facebook holding in there. Microsoft. How are these other stocks we're looking at? CCXI, 1072 still. I'm not seeing the movement there, guys, on CCXI. No bounce there. GameStop making baby steps. It's pushing, man. It's holding. I like that. We're back above 150. That's where we need it to hold. Looks like tendies. It's very thin. Look at this. It's very thin, but we're making moves. Gotta give it that. Shiba is really on fire, man. I see it everywhere, even on Facebook. We do have a Facebook group, by the way. It's been picking up some momentum, our Facebook group. I never really thought I'd be on Facebook for stocks, but we do have a group. There's like 12,000 people in there, and people keep posting Shiba. Safe Moon. Let's take a look at the Dow. Dow is still red. Futures were kind of flashing green earlier, and they went flat for some time, and then green, and then red. We're still barely red too. Roblox. Oh wow, how's Coinbase? By the way, I think Kathy Wood had her meeting today too at 10:30. Did anybody tune into that? Bonfire's another one. She went to $1. Did anybody tune into Kathy Ark's monthly webinar? Coinbase above 300. Oh man, I thought we were really gonna dump under 250. This is that earnings pump we're waiting for too. On any stock, basically. We're waiting for a pump headed into earnings on any stock. I am into Shiba finally. Where'd you buy Shiba at? Through what? Is it as complicated as people make it seem? Is it like SafeMoon? Let's see. It's on Binance. No, Binance is playing me, man. Binance never approved my account. It's like I don't exist. And it's been months. Ray Dalio. Binance says you're a paper hand, so they said they watched the video, man. They said, nope, not this guy. KuCoin. I've been off the web for about a week to do my homework. Yeah, exams are coming through too. It's almost that time, man, already. June comes around, summer, start summer classes. See what summer class I get to take. Alrighty, we're coming on down on futures. Trust wallet. I really love Bitmart. Shout out to whoever recommended Bitmart to me. It's really, really amazing. I also love how they pull their charts from TradingView. Where are the indicators at? There we go. Look at that rally on Shiba. Nuts. How are these airlines holding in there? Any updates on the pipeline? I think they said this week, by the end of this week. Alibaba has earnings this week. Take a look. What a bounce. 212 to 220. Pretty decent, pretty decent. Ooh, there we go, baby. Green spike on Nasdaq. Green spike on Tesla. There we go. Hold these gains. Let's go for 630, man. Let me break even. Let me at least close with breaking even. And then we head into tomorrow. See if we at least print some tendies. Oh. No summer for me. Damn. And it's really quick too. That's what I like about it. No BS. Just fly through the course. That's it. At your own pace too. I usually would finish like a week's worth of homework and on Monday. There we go, baby. Let's go. Come on, baby. Let's go to 650. I believe, baby. I believe we have 40 something minutes. 42 minutes. Tom Brady. Did I miss the train on Shiba? I don't know. I don't think so, man. This Shiba this Shiba coin is all over Twitter. It's trending on Twitter. Shiba coin is I'll pull it up. Look at this. Shiba coin is trending. I don't think you're late. I don't think it's late. 1,000 invested into Shiba 60 days ago is now worth 1.5 million. That's what I'm talking about, Tesla. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. You know, watch Elon Musk hop on this Shiba and it's gonna go flying. It's gonna fly even more. I think the last time he tweeted was I need a Shiba, something like that. Elon Musk Shiba. They're going for 1 cent. Yeah, GameStop's going for that 150. It's been a crappy couple of weeks. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Higher the brightness on this. It's kind of dark. There we go. All right, 622. Meet Kevin is live. Crypto is out of control. Watch these coins. Man, everybody's talking about crypto now. Telling you, that's where the hype is at, guys. That's where the money's at right now. That momentum is not a freaking joke. These dips, it's time to buy these Ethereum and Bitcoin dips. I'll just have to eat the fees up on Coinbase. $623. There we go. I expect let's close above 620s. see a gap up, possibly. The only thing that scares me is the CPI tomorrow, man. The CPI coming out pre-market, bright and early. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. What's the monthly fee on Coinbase Pro? Uh, look into Yakuza 0 if you haven't. It's a video game. It is a video game. $69 on the day for GameStop. What a meme. Let's go, baby. Keep on pushing. Crypto.com for Shiba. I made enough to pay for almost a full cup of coffee. I was at Starbucks day trade. You did day trade Starbucks. I know we left in the morning. I do have a Voyager account. I got approved finally like a month later, but I've been very skeptical about it. But what's the monthly fee on Coinbase Pro? I am aware of Pro though. I know they have lower fees, but that obviously has to come with some cost, right? Tesla can't get past 625. Yeah, it's literally what a quadruple top almost here at 624, 625. Oh my God, if we see 650 tomorrow, that'd be pretty dope. 650. No fee? Reply to Binance. Uh, that's kind of usually there has to be a trade-off, man, like Robinhood. Completely free, but you get effed over on the horrible executions. So I'm trying to figure that out, you know? Yeah, I need to reply back to Binance. It's been way too long. Let's go, Tesla. Let's go. I paper handed in Jan. What did you paper hand in January? Ghost Tendy. It took me 2 months for Binance. Maybe I'm still on the wait list because I've been on there for like 2 months too, which is ridiculous, man. It's nuts. Oh, you sold Doge back in January? Don't worry, man. I took an L at 5 cents. Can you believe that? I took an L at 5 cents. It's just like you can't be too hard on yourself, you know? It's like, oh well, it happened, you know? It's like I saw this tweet that said, just imagine the person who where did it go? It went from just imagine the person who bought Tesla at 400, they sold in January, they bought GameStop at $10, they sold that at the height, they moved that into Doge and they sold Doge at 70. Imagine the perfect plays. I've done that before too. I think about it. Think about it like these perfect plays like sell Tesla there, go to Boeing here, sell Boeing there. It's like you try to calculate how it would have been perfect, but that never really happens. Yeah, we're going for flat at least, Nathan. Like at a dollar, you bought 1,000. Yeah, it's just the possibilities. The possibilities. I believe they call that like sample paths. In this one book called Fooled by Randomness, sample paths. Um, Carlos will do anything but more. This was in serious response to the market support side by he means stimulus, aka no more stimulus, but also suggests that some tension in the tax negotiations. Oh, oh, we Garden we covered that. We covered the tweet from GME. Here we go, baby. 625. Hop on the rocket. Hop on the rocket. Let's go, baby. Come on. Let's go. Yes. 627. Show me, show me, show me. Give me that FOMO. This is literally where we were at yesterday at close. I don't even know why I'm too hyped. We were here at close yesterday. You missed a tweet. Here we go. We'll pull it up one more time. Shiba coin is still trending. 626.55. 626.80. 627. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. This was a tweet. So it's not a Heineken. I thought it was a Heineken. They photoshopped the GS, the GameStop logo on here. It's a Carlsberg. What is that like a I don't know what that is. Like a German beer or something? I don't know. Carlsberg. Oh, it is a beer. From where though? Denmark. Danish. I was off. I only know my my Corona. Carlsberg sucks. I've never tried it, so I can't say anything. It's a Sprite. Come on, Tesla. Come on, just shoot up to 634, man. This is what we're going for. Tom Brady's here, man. I believe we can shoot up ridiculously. I've seen this done on Tesla too. It might happen. Let's get it, baby. Let's get this spike. I only drink White Claws. I don't even like drinking in the first place. I try to just drink water, avoid all of that. I'm gonna go with my water. 634 average. Yeah, that's my average. Why didn't you average down? I was willing to double down and buy 30 more shares of Tesla if we sank under today from the pre-market low. If this came to 550s, 560s, I was willing to. Other than that, I wasn't willing to double down. So stick to my plan. Stick to my plan. All you IPA people suck. You ruin the crap you're seeing in beer aisles and stores forever. IPAs are disgusting. Tastes like fish. Uh, let's see. Let's see. See where we bounce. How's the GameStop pulling back? 24x ping. A horse running just tying himself out. All right, here we go. Pulling back. Look at the NASDAQ, guys. Futures. We're flat on this. Literally flat. Nothing happened today. Flat. I don't know. Boulevard Tank 7. AMC over 10. Yeah, is it over 10? It's gonna go for a 10 close. I'm telling you, it dipped right under the 10, 9.99, but I think we can close above 10. I'm still trying to figure out why that 511 was trending. Like, what was today so important about today? The Tuesday. Wait, did you guys time him out because you said IPA suck? That means I should time myself out, huh? He's probably watching right now, like, damn you. Pulling back. I take this pullback, man. I take the pullback. At least we broke past that resistance here slightly. I'll take a pullback. That's not what we want. Coin is ripping. Let's see it. Let me see it. 350s? No. 301. 300 is a dub for coin. I'll give it that. How's Airbnb? How's the overhyped DoorDash? 125, also green. Twitter pulling back, no. Rising wedge on Qs. Easy TFs. I think tomorrow we should rebound. That's the only thing that worries me is the CPI coming out tomorrow. That's the only thing. Apart from that, I think we're gonna rebound tomorrow. Look at this sell-off. Ooh, that's ugly. Pretty probably a sharp drop in the last 15 minutes. Maybe some day traders taking profits too. Let's see who tweeted. Orange Kitty? No. Oh yeah, Kathy Wood bought Coinbase yesterday too. What's going on, Ragnar? Yeah, Brady stopped by today. I'm kind of happy with this close. I mean, we still have 30 minutes. A lot can happen. Tesla could come down to 600 again. We don't know. That's not what we hope for, but anything can happen in 28 minutes. So let's see. Let's take a look at crypto really quick. Doge still 50. Bitcoin 56.7. It's creeping up. I forgot Grubhub. Yeah, I forgot Grubhub was another one of them. Uber Eats too. Is that it? Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats. I think so, right? San Jose is trending. Why? I don't. Fixed return cryptos, no. Postmates, yes, I forgot. Another one, Postmates. How can I forget Postmates? Postmates. That's what I thought too. I thought too, that San Jose, I thought the fault, man. I was like, don't tell me. Because usually around when earthquakes occur here, they hype it up. They're like, oh, it's we're one earthquake closer to the fault getting triggered, and like that movie San Andreas, we all get screwed and we all die. Baseball team moving out of Oakland. Sundial, yeah, Sundial has earnings. Is it pumping? Oh, today. That's gonna be interesting. You guys want to stay after hours for this? For Sundial? It's a love-hate relationship from. Oh, I don't like this pullback. Love-hate relationship with me and Sundial. I remember buying back here at 50s, 80s. It's nuts. What a ride it's been. I don't like this pullback. A beer for breakfast. I don't know about that, man. California is going to live with Hawaii. We're all going to be underwater. I thought Postmates was a postage company for a long time. Made no sense that they delivered food. They deliver more than food, I believe, too. Fubo has earnings today too. Yeah, you're right. Wow. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I call dump on both of them. That's my guess. I call dump on Fubo and Sundial. Uh, Jay Katara, what did you tell me? That's an ugly sell-off on Nasdaq, guys. I don't like that. Consecutive blood red candles. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, like 9 candles back to back red. Ooh, that's pretty steep. That's pretty steep. Oh, Q's rising wedge. Yeah, you're right. And then dump into close. You called it. On the 15. We rode the 15 EMA all day today. That's amazing. The real test comes tomorrow. On the 4-hour, guys, I think tomorrow we might hit like 630s pre-market, maybe a slight gap up. And either we're going to come back down or it's going to fly to 650s. I don't think there's any in between. Look at the 4-hour Nasdaq. We tested that today. How's the daily? Damn, I really wanted to close green. We got a margin call. Someone's calling. There's that bounce. Finally. Finally green. Kramer. I haven't heard of Kramer in a minute. What has he been up to? What has he been pumping? All right, let's see this. Let's go to Twitter. He tweeted an hour ago, Amazon a good leader. I'm telling you. Kramer is holding a fat bag. Kramer is back holding Amazon. I already knew it. Ever since we hit the high here, I think he FOMO'd. I think he's holding a bag. Does someone else think like that? I think he's been holding a bag. We've been speculating about that. He tweeted Nasdaq actually up. He is pumping AMC. I thought he was against us. He has a plan for GameStop. Let's see. I see no AMC on here. I've been telling you he bought the high. I think he chased Amazon. I think he YOLO'd on earnings and he got wrecked. Oh, there we go. He said making a stand 5 hours ago. AMC, Palantir, P&G, Procter and Gamble. Now, how about GameStop? Palantir stand is impressive. I just feel like a Woodstock buy right now. I may finally have a GameStop game plan that works after studying Roblox. The Wall Street bettors will love it. Can the 10 mil degenerates keep Palantir in there with a small revenue beat? This guy has plans for everything. I have to hand it to Adam Aaron at AMC. He has raised a fortune off his stock and is able to stay stronger than what's left of his competition. How's Procter and Gamble today? Oh man. Not good, not good. Take a look at GameStop. Oh, wow. What's going on? Are people cutting losses or what? Profit takers? Anything Kramer says I actually hate. I throw up just listening to his voice. I don't even need to see him. Is he on right now? Is he on CNBC? Let's pull it up. Let's find out. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Probably some day traders taking profits.
A volatile day for Palantir
No.
shares on the back of earnings. It was down 10% in the pre-market, but reversed course, now up 9%. Earnings beat, but net losses doubled. Meantime, CFO David Glazer said the company is considering holding Bitcoin on its balance sheet and said it would now accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. Joining us, Roger Monteforte, founder and CEO of Forte Capital Group and a Palantir shareholder. He bought more shares this morning while the stock was down. Roger, great to have you with us. First and foremost, what do you think the trigger was for the shares to turn around? Was it that Bitcoin announcement?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just, I think the market kind of came to its senses with the fact that the company posted a fantastic quarter. I think, the trend on this particular earnings season, given how volatile the rotation has been and aggressive the rotation has been out of growth stocks, I think the kind of knee-jerk reaction was to simply, sell the news. I think, but as investors in the street had time to take a look at the numbers and really do a deeper dive, they realized that this quarter was actually phenomenal. And as a result, I think, the action shows that in the price over the course of the day.
So you were buying more shares this morning?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I actually stepped in pre-market and bought some shares considerably lower than where it is right now, under 17 bucks. When we look at this quarter, we think it really highlights the scalability and profitability of the business. Q1 revenues are up 49%, operating margins are up 34%. But I think the big takeaway from this number that you have to look at is the adjusted free cash flow that came in at 151 million. You have to realize that's a massive beat because the consensus had the company losing 28 million. So 151 million versus a loss of 28 million. And on a year-over-year comp, it's a $441 million increase in free cash flow year-over-year. So I think this really illustrates the fundamental difference between Palantir and other high multiple software companies that continue to burn cash. And this is the narrative that we've been pounding on this company from day one, as people question the valuation or question the validity of the company. Just look at what they've accomplished in a very relatively short period of time as a public company. And they clearly demonstrated that they will be a profitable company. They are a profitable company as it sits right now, which is unlike a lot of other high-flying companies that can't demonstrate that at this point.
I mean, it sounds like you're really trying to draw a distinction. The shares have been cut in half, basically, down to 20. They were trading in the high 40s at one point. So do you think that is a broader move around momentum and growth names and higher valuation post-IPO names, or is there some misunderstanding here about this stock and this story?
No, I think the $40 number last year was just a matter of just the name getting ahead of itself. Going into the lockup, the float was very small, and there was a tremendous amount of buzz around.
This was on January 27, man.
Valuation that at that particular point in time wasn't really justified. But when you look at what the company has done since that kind of very.
That was the whole GameStop day, January 27. Let's see. Yeah, Fubo has earnings today after hours. So does Sundial. I guess we'll stay after hours. Are you guys buying Palantir? Nope, I'm not. Sundial, Fubo, Baba has this week as well. GameStop bouncing slightly.
Great.
We've taken a leg lower, a little bit south here, down 550 points on the Dow. Up next, Kathy Wood selling more Apple shares and Tesla tumbling on tensions between the U.S.
baby,
and China.
Let's go.
We'll hit it all for you in the market zone, which is straight ahead.
Let's go, baby. Let's get that Tesla pump. Roku. How are these semis? AMD, Nvidia. Yeah, Coinbase is on fire right now. Oh, sorry. I'm in front of the chart, right? There we go. Let's see what Kathy has to say. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, Doge is creeping, guys. Doge just slightly moving. It's almost at 51. No problem, no problem. There we go. Another green candle on Nasdaq and Tesla. I like that. Give me 6:30, baby. We got 14 minutes left. 14 minutes for Tuesday. What are you guys holding? Let me hear it. Let me hear it. What you guys are holding right now. What you guys buy on these discounts? Ethereum, Bitcoin, Tesla, GameStop. All right, here we go. Ethereum's at 4,042. So it's kind of holding 4K. Ethereum, OXY calls, Oxy calls, AMC. Crypto.com tweeted, what token should we add to earn? Retweet for Doge, like for Sheep. Microsoft, GameStop, AMC are my big holders. Kramer looks like he practices his golf swing mid-conversation. And Second King says AMC. Is AMC going to close above 11? I mean 10? I think so. I think that's the battle today. The battle for Tesla over here is 627, maybe even 630s. I believe, baby. I smell Tom Brady. CCXI is approving a 50-50. The downside isn't too big from current price. 6-7 times potential upside. I agree. I'm still waiting, though. CCXI really hasn't proved to me that it's worthy of a rebound just yet. Same thing with Viacom and Discovery, man. They're flat. They're stuck. They're stuck. It's been literally a month of us watching the stocks, and we have not bought anything. And the stock hasn't done anything. There we go, Kathy. Come on.
12.5 minutes left in the trading day. We are now in the closing bell market zone. Commercial free coverage of all the action going into the close. CNBC senior markets commentator Mike Santo here to break down these crucial moments of the trading day. And today we've got Short Hills Capital Partners Chief Investment Officer Steve Weiss with us as well. Very good afternoon to you, Steve. Let's kick things off with the broader market. Stocks under pressure.
I do not want to hear this guy.
Session lows. The Nasdaq was down 2.2.
Bad mouth. Hey, I love Viacom, man. I think that's an amazing fundamentals. But like I said this morning, it's the opposite. Usually you'll have amazing technicals and crappy fundamentals. It's the opposite for Viacom. It's crappy technicals and amazing fundamentals. I need to look into that lawsuit.
This is just a little bit of a coming together, that kind of rubber band kind of coming back into more alignment. Doesn't mean they have to come back to match one another, but it does seem as if you had excessive selling for a couple of weeks in the NASDAQ names and the Dow type stocks unable to ignore it after a while. It doesn't seem like today was conclusive. I would point out, though, the S&P at the lows today was down exactly 3% from its high. So we're talking about a 3% pullback, kind of this choppy consolidation period for the overall market, even though there's plenty of drama underneath.
Stephen, what are you doing? Are you buying any of these tech losers?
Well, I am adding, but I haven't added today. I added before. Maybe I should have added today. My tech names are not the wild high flyers. As a matter of fact, I had a bunch of puts on those. On
oh, you loser.
I had puts on Amazon. Actually, I sold calls on Amazon. Sold calls on Google. And Teladoc I had puts on. So I'm out of pretty much all those puts at this point. But the names I own are the Corvos. I own the Skyworks. They're selling at about 15, 16 times earnings, and they're down nearly 20% from the highs. That sort of makes no sense. In my view, you're not going to see the high flyers come back. It was lunacy to begin with, but companies selling at 100 times revenues, give me a break. So when you can buy companies that are in 5G, the digitization of the world, not just the U.S., which is going and going and going to keep going for the next 10 years or so, why not buy those at 15, 16 times? It just makes a lot more sense. So I'll nibble at those, but I've got pretty full positions in them as it now stands.
Apple's under a little pressure today. Cathie Wood's ARK Invest has been trimming its position in Apple. Just yesterday, the ARK FinTech Innovation ETF sold over 30% of its stake. On Friday, we spoke with Cathie Wood and asked her specifically for her take on Apple after having trimmed her position earlier that week. Listen to what she said.
What we do as a bull market extends, as it did last year, we usually put into the portfolio, since we cannot hold any cash, we put into the portfolio, I'll call them cash-like innovation stocks. So the FANGs certainly meet that criteria. They're acting like defensives. They truly are. On days when utilities and staples do well, very often communication services are doing well. So during a period of volatility like we've just seen, we will sell those stocks and move into either our more pure play or earlier stage innovation companies that are being hurt by the risk off.
Stephen, she's not wrong. Apple and some of the other mega cap tech names do act a little bit defensive during sell-offs and move sometimes with staples. But the question is now the time to be rotating out of them and into the higher growth names like Zoom and Teladoc and Tesla and everything else she likes?
Tesla, baby.
I don't think so. I think, let's take Tesla, for example. I own Volkswagen, I own Porsche. It's really the same trade. Porsche owns 53% of Volkswagen in terms of the voting stock. They sold 130,000 EVs in the first quarter versus 180,000 by Tesla. Volkswagen sells over 500,000 EVs, and they've got the market share in China that Tesla wants, 29% of the entire market. It's selling at 7 times earnings, less than 7 actually. So I think Tesla, we kept hearing from the bears, competition. We've been hearing it for 5 or 6 years. Well, guess what? It's finally arrived. In terms of the others, they are defensive. Now, I own Apple. It's not my favorite tech stock. It's had flat revenues, basically flat earnings for the last couple of years. But you can't really sell it, because if you sell it, you're triggering a tax event that you just don't want. Same goes with Microsoft, same goes with Amazon, same goes with Google. And they're market stocks. Markets go up 90% of the time. These will go up. Maybe it's a pause here, but yes, I mean, you pointed out, it's a great point, they are defensive. They're not going to make you the most money in this market. They're not going to lose you the most either. So Cathie's a prisoner of her strategy. Last year it was great to be a prisoner of it. This year it's not so good, because the market is finally distinguishing between what's pure folly, again, the 100 times revenue, and what are real earners consistently through all cycles.
Though her ARK Innovation ETF is getting a nice bounce today, one stock that isn't bouncing that Steve just mentioned is Tesla. Phil LeBeau, why isn't that one bouncing?
He's
look
muted.
For this company, and some of those questions are coming from China. As you take a look at shares of Tesla today, it briefly touched under $600 a share. As you take a look at the stock here, now trading at $619. The report out of China from Reuters, citing unnamed sources, says the company is rethinking its expansion plans for its gigafactory in Shanghai. They've got the capacity to build 450,000 vehicles a year there. The report says they were thinking about perhaps exporting some of those vehicles to here in the United States, where there's a 25% tariff for vehicles built in China, then shipped here to the U.S. No comment from Tesla on this report. They do export the Model 3 from Shanghai to Europe. And remember, they've got the plants in Berlin and in Texas that are scheduled to be coming online a little bit later on this year. So just one story that is out there surrounding Tesla today as the stock under pressure once again. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Phil LeBeau. Mike Santoli, talk to us about what we've seen today for Tesla versus the rest of the ARK kind of complex, which has had a great bounce.
Yeah, the rest of them have bounced. You know, ARC really does move also with the cloud software stocks. Those are the very high price to revenue type names that really are at the epicenter of a lot of what ARC owns, and that has been in sync. Now, Tesla really moving more on news from the China shortfall in sales did weigh on the stock, although in the morning, before the actual official open of the market, it was actually really under siege, and it bobbed right back up from not far from its 200-day average. And it's one of those stocks that did actually kind of have a rescue around that level, as did Amazon, which is up on the day as well. So definitely a little bit of a fight going on around these levels for Tesla, but it's not really moving in sync with those other kind of pure software type names.
Earlier this hour, we spoke
Will,
exclusively
can I give you
with.
one more perspective?
Oh, go ahead,
I'm
Stephen.
sorry. I just want to give you one more perspective on ARC. I always look at what the borrowing situation is. In other words, how heavily shorted it is. And ARC is one of the most heavily shorted stocks out there in terms of it being a fund. Earlier, you couldn't get a borrow on it, and the borrowing costs are about 10% or so. So it's also a proxy for all those stocks, and some people look to short that instead of shorting the Qs or the SMH. So the bounce, I think, is some short covering as the NASDAQ recovered.
Good point. It really has become a proxy. Earlier this hour, I was going to mention, we spoke exclusively with St. Louis Fed President James Bullard. Here's what he said about the Fed's tapering timeline.
I'd like to get out of the pandemic more solidly than we are today. So I'd like to see these metrics on fatalities per day and confirmed cases go even lower than where they are. I'd like the CDC to come out and tell us that they're more comfortable than they have been. So we'll see if we can get to that point. But I don't think you really want to change policy while you're still in the pandemic tunnel, even though you can sort of see the end of the tunnel. We're not there yet, and we got to push hard to get all the way to the end.
Fed's still very worried about the pandemic, Mike, and even St. Louis Fed President Bullard, who does have a good eye on the markets and a good feel for what's going on usually, is not too worried about the inflation story. So is it the market doesn't believe the Fed that they're going to be able to wait as long as they want
Of course we don't.
to raise rates?
I don't think the market is outright saying the Fed will not be able to wait that long, but there is this risk, and it's all about probabilities. And there is some, probability, argue about how much there is, that the economy will run so hot and cases will crash to nothing in the summer, and you will see markets get a little bit out of hand, and maybe inflation starts to flare up even more. I think you have to have that at one slice of your probability spectrum, and so I do think markets just sort of asking that question, not really jumping to conclusions. And when we say the Fed's not worried, well, the Fed's still far from its stated goals. They've spent a lot of time talking about their stated goals, talking about their commitment to make sure those goals are actually evident in the numbers and not just anticipated. And when Bullard today said, our goal is to cement inflation expectations near at our 2% target, well, we're not really there yet. Yeah, market-based inflation expectations are above 2, but it doesn't mean that, more broadly speaking, they can declare victory on that. No early declarations of victory is this Fed's motto.
Just over 2 minutes left, Mike, and the Nasdaq's trying to go positive. The Dow only down just under 500 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's been actually a little bit of just very much a range-bound give-and-take market for much of the afternoon here. Internally, still plenty of weakness here.
All right, we got 1 minute. Like you said, we're kind of bouncing here with the Nasdaq, almost nearly flat. Tesla's at 617. We didn't get our 620 plus, but I think a 600 plus is a dub. Is a dub.
Of the new pain is happening as opposed to the NASDAQ. Take a look, though, at new 52-week highs and lows on the NASDAQ, and you see more than 200 new lows, swamping new highs. It's actually almost the reverse on the New York, so it's interesting. The way this works is a stock that hits a new high at any point over the course of the day is counted as a new 52-week high or low, and so that's why things built up in the morning but have not really been added to in the...
We're going to stay for Fubo earnings, as well as Sundial.
Not quite to 24. That shows you a little bit of a twitch of concern out there. Put-call ratios also spiked. Now we're back down a little bit, and we're not quite more than 2 points off the high. So it still seems like we're on edge, but certainly not really panic mode. Keep in mind, we went up toward 30 in late February and early March. Sarah.
1 minute until the close. Take a look at the major averages. Today's the day the Dow gets dragged in to the mud, with the Dow down 489 points. It was looking a lot worse earlier in the session. We got down to lower than 600 points, but most Dow stocks are lower. And we are looking at our worst day for the Dow since the end of February. Home Depot, United Healthcare, and Goldman Sachs are the biggest drags. Nike and Salesforce are some rare winners. Technology is outperforming. Nike gets an upgrade from Jefferies, says there's 40% upside on that stock. As far as the S&P 500 is concerned, every sector is lower right now except for materials. Energy is the hardest hit, along with utilities. And the NASDAQ actually fares better than the worst, than the rest of them for a change. It was down more than 2% earlier today. A remarkable comeback. The NASDAQ,
what a comeback, I agree.
Positive. It looks like just trading around the flat line into the close. Small caps also hold up better.
Holy moly.
A quarter of 1%.
Holy. I know I enjoyed the day. Oh my God, what a comeback. Yeah.
Welcome to the closing bell, everyone. I'm Wilfred Frost alongside Sarah Eisen and Mike Santoli, CNBC senior markets commentator. We finished down 472 points on the Dow, though the low of the session was down 670, but still a 1.4% decline for the Dow. S&P 500 down 0.9%. The NASDAQ down just 0.1%. It had been down 2.2%, so a remarkable intraday recovery for the tech-heavy NASDAQ. Materials was the only sector positive on the S&P 500, followed by tech and communication services, which were only slightly negative by the close. But energy, utilities, financials, all down more than 1.5%. Coming up, Sartori Fund founder Dan Niles on whether he's seeing any buying opportunities amid the recent tech sector volatility. Plus, we're awaiting results from EA, FuboTV, Lemonade, and
Fubo, baby.
We'll have instant analysis of all of those numbers as soon as they are released. Stephen Weiss from Short Hills Capitals is still with us, and Joyce Chang from JP Morgan and Lizanne Saunders from Charles Schwab join the conversation. Very good afternoon to you both. Mike Santoli, I'll come to you first, and clearly we had this big bounce intraday, but we're still looking at the VIX
football on the right
closing
side.
above 21, and we're still in quite a negative week so far for stocks.
Right. The market's still a little bit unsettled, and it's kind of gotten into this mode over the last 4 weeks. Even though the overall at the index level, the S&P level, it really was no great drama. There has been a lot of back and forth and churn underneath the surface, and you do have right now still some of the same rotational type activity that has kept the market supported. Meaning today you had good outperformance off the lows from the growth stocks that had been beaten down, and yet you have some profit taking in the rest of it. So nothing's necessarily altered about the underlying dynamics of what's going on, but it's just coming into April with everybody pretty fully invested and on alert for the idea that maybe there was some give back to be had after we get through earnings. I think that's what the market's contending with here, and of course all the macro questions hover out there as well.
Yeah, front and center inflationary concerns. Lizanne, what are you telling your clients to do about the inflation quandary, and what stocks to be in and which ones to be out of?
Let's hear it.
I would agree with what Mike said with regard to the rotational nature of this market, which sometimes seems to key directly off inflation concerns, even if it's not necessarily in reaction to inflation data. And other days there are other explanations. I think the inflation picture, I think, changed the landscape in terms of broader rotations. We went from the lower quality bias in January into the mid part of February. And that's not terribly abnormal. When you see the market start to price in a really significant surge in economic growth, you move to that lower quality set of areas where the leverage is greatest to the upturn. And then that eventually gives way to more of a fundamental.
So earnings are not out yet on Fubo. They should be out in 1 minute. This is just
So
reaction.
what we've been telling investors is that even though there's always a lot of focus on sectors, which ones do well or not in an inflation environment, we think factors will be more important to leadership and consistency in leadership than that sector decision. And I think the value-oriented factors, which have been a winning strategy for the past year, can be applied to not only traditional value-oriented sectors, but even value factors have been outperforming within the growthier sectors. So in a rising interest rate, rising inflation environment, you want to focus on the factor of value, but apply it to every segment of the market.
Stephen, I feel like your commentary so far hasn't been too bearish, and you've been highlighting some of the stocks you do like. But when I read your notes earlier, I thought you were very bearish, suggesting people should be in cash, and that outside of a few stocks you like, the NASDAQ is due a much bigger pullback than it's seen so far. Where exactly do you stand?
Yeah, so I was fully invested, 5% cash,
There it is. Fubo delivered record 119.7 million revenue, grew total subscribers to 590K in Q. Oh my God, that's crazy. They're crushing it. Up 135% year over year. Advertising revenue up 206% year over year. Oh my gosh. I was so wrong on Fubo.
While it's going on. So while the Fed can sit and wait, I don't think that investors are going to sit and wait. So it doesn't mean the market's going to crash. I just think you're in consolidation right now with the bias to the downside and that you should have some cash to get back in. Today was one of the strangest days in the market I've seen. You had 10-year yield up, but the banks were down. You had the commodities up, iron ore and copper, but yet CAT was down. And you had some others that were down as well. So it's kind of discombobulated. And I just think that's what people are saying is that I don't know what to do here. So to me, there's more nervousness. It's not reflected here. Everybody's saying, don't worry about it. It's going higher, et cetera, or it's not going down. My view is that you've got risk, 5-10% risk right here.
Some mixed signals on jobs lately as well, Joyce. Just wanted to throw that in because we did get this incredible data today showing 8.1 million job openings, a record high, the record low layoffs. There was clearly demand for work in a lot of services area, travel, leisure, hospitality. What's going on with the job picture, the shortage issue, and what that might mean for the market?
Well, we're looking at a real problem of structural unemployment right now, that many of the job losers in 2020 don't seem necessarily suited for where the job openings are at. And then you have the labor reservation price as well. So I think that you seeing difficulty in getting workers, that will come back, and some supply constraints that are in the labor market right now. So I think this is really going to mean that will this discussion of tapering have to wait longer, until the July meeting? There's still a lot of slack in the economy. There's still more than 8 million people who are unemployed. So I think the Fed has sent a very clear signal that they're willing to be patient here. And the market will remain focused on inflation, because we don't know where the magnitude will be, but we certainly know the direction is higher as well.
EA is trading down following reporting numbers. Josh has
EA.
it for us.
Fubo new high.
So Wolf Electronic Arts reporting Q4 results here, 26 cents, so that's unlikely comparable to estimates. Adjusted revenue, 1.49 billion in the quarter. That's versus expectations of 1.39 billion. And spinning ahead to Q1, EA is saying they're looking for 1.25 billion in adjusted revenue versus an expectation of 1.16 billion. And for the year, the expectation they say is 7.3 billion versus an analyst estimate of 6.6 billion. Remember, heading into this print, the stock was down about 5% from its most recent 52-week high, though up about 20% over the past 12 months. This conference call kicks off at 5 p.m. Eastern. Back to you all.
Josh, thanks so much for that. Stephen, do you like this one?
I'm looking for an opportunity to buy this, and hopefully this will give it to me. I'm participating in gaming, of course, through Microsoft, but I'd like to have a direct play because I don't think it's going away. So you may get weakness next quarter as well, as as kids go back to school, although go to camp, whatever. But yeah, I think this one's the most reasonable of all that are reporting after the close today.
Lizanne, we're obviously coming off of a stellar earnings season, partly because last year at this time we were shut down. Yeah. What are you getting? What are the threads in terms of the outlook and the sustainability of the kind of profits and revenues we're seeing?
Well, what's been interesting is coming into earnings season. So before we had the very first report, the consensus expectation was for about 24% growth, which has now jumped to well more than 2x. But you've seen hesitancy in terms of analysts extrapolating those significant gains, even into the second quarter, which has a consensus, I think, of about 60% year over year. But we haven't seen that commensurate turn up in second quarter. So I think there's still some uncertainty and hesitancy for analysts to raise the bar, which of course means the bar is low enough that we have record-breaking beat rates. I worry that once we actually get the second quarter results, and they're likely to be even stronger than the not raised high enough bar, that there might be too much extrapolating into the latter half of the year, and we could run into a situation where finally analysts succumb to the pressure to raise the bar at a time where, even because of the math of year-over-year comps becoming much more difficult in the latter part of the year, especially for any goods-related industries, given that goods consumption is well above pre-pandemic levels. So I think we may have some disappointment more on the good side of the economy in the second half of the year, even if there's still ample strength on the services side.
Let's hit more earnings. FuboTV just out. Let's get to Julia Boorstin with those results. Julia.
Fubo shares moving higher on revenues that beat estimates. The company reporting nearly $120 million in revenue versus the roughly $104 million that analysts had been expecting. You see that stock shooting higher. The company also grew its total subscribers faster than expected. The company growing to over 590,000 subscribers. The analysts had been expecting about 528,000 subscribers. And crucially here, and I think this is a key factor driving the stock right now, the company increased its revenue as well as its subscriber guidance for the full year 2021. The CEO saying in the press release here that the first quarter of 2021 was an inflection point for FuboTV. Back over to you guys.
Julia Boorstin. Julia, thank you. Still took a tumble from its highs earlier in the year. It's up 9% after hours. And don't miss a First on CNBC interview with FuboTV CEO tomorrow morning on Tech Check.
Let's get back to the broader markets in the meantime. Joyce, what's your outlook for growth around the rest of the world for the rest of this year? Do you think there could be some positive surprises there and some catch-up?
Where are you, Sundial?
Well, Europe will catch up in the third quarter of the year. So we had a very disappointing first quarter, but we're at close to 15% growth in Europe. The market remains very focused also on just the divergence that we're seeing between the U.S. and China. China, we have seen that a lot of the activity momentum there has peaked. But I think that the fact that this is not a synchronized recovery, is something that's very noteworthy. You had China in first, then the U.S., and then Europe, and then emerging markets will follow that. Now, in emerging markets, I don't think you're going to be seeing some of that recovery until later into the second half of the year as they get the vaccinations rolled out. So that's where we've seen more of the disappointments so far this year, with China very deliberately, though, going towards policy divergence and more normalization.
Lizanne, finally, I just wanted to hit the energy sector with you because it's either the best performing group or the worst performing group on the market these days. Today it was the worst, down 2.6%, but it's still up almost 40% for the year with everything going on with the Colonial Pipeline and fuel prices and just the general mood around the economic reopening. Is energy still a good bet?
Yeah, in fact, we actually just upgraded energy to an outperform rating from a neutral, and that adds to the financials and healthcare, which have been outperform ratings for a while. So we now have 3 outperform ratings inclusive of energy. That said, I would go back to the view that I think it's factor decisions that will add more value, lowercase v, than sector-based decisions. But on the metrics we look at, macro conditions, valuation, technical conditions, relative strength, and general fundamentals, that now screens quite well, the energy sector.
We'll leave the conversation there. Stephen Weiss, Joyce Chang, Lizanne Saunders. Good to see all of you. Thank you for joining us. Technology outperforming the broader market today, but the sector has been hit hard recently. Up next, Satori Fund founder Dan Niles on whether he sees a tech turnaround on the horizon and the stocks he thinks are most attractive right now.
Tesla, he thinks.
Talk about a jobs jolt. Mike Santoli looking at why the labor market may be tighter than investors and the Fed thinks. That is a good one. We're back in just 90 seconds on Closing Bell.
No, you're not. Or it's Sundial. It says here a couple hours from now. I don't know. Usually they come out really quick. I think we should just call it here then. If they're going to be taking their sweet time. 1986 new high for Fubo. It's going for 20. 1988. The puts. Who had puts on Fubo? GG's. Who knows, man? Look what Amazon did. Tomorrow we might be back down to 17 for Fubo. I do not know. So I guess we'll just call it here then. If or we'll probably just be in the Discord. In the Discord. Find us there. But we'll see what happens with Sundial. And as of now, Fubo is rallying. 1990. 1990s, baby. I'm long on Fubo, 2,000 shares. There we go. With that being said, hopefully you guys have an amazing rest. Oh, 99. Let's leave at 20. It doesn't hit 20. Let's see. When it hits 20, we'll end it. Oh, don't do this to me. 91, 95. $98 again. It's so close. Oh, it's gonna break 20. There we go. 2010, 2011. Damn. All right, there. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, for another pre-market. Hopefully, it's a green one. Watch Nasdaq futures. Futures are going to indicate where we're going. Yesterday, Tesla closed low after hours at 620. Futures were deep in the red. They were bleeding. So let's see what happens. Watch futures for indication. Oh, red candle on sundial. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of your day, evening.